Hello everybody, it is Soup here. I've been coaching FireFox for a week or two now, and he asked me to make a video of him playing versus Nullra for the DoD channel, so I am honored. It's a privilege being able to commentate a game here on the DoD channel. So we're watching FireFox playing Hades. He's going against Nullra's Shennong. We'll watch this from FireFox's point of view. This way we can learn more about Hades and we can talk more in depth about this particular player, this particular perspective, and what you can do as Hades in this particular matchup. Like I said, I've been coaching FireFox for a few weeks. I've watched over a bunch of his games, and we've also just been chatting in the Discord about how to approach different matchups with Hades. And this particular matchup versus China, we haven't talked individually about each different Chinese god, but the matchup against China is interesting, and FireFox actually came up with this particular strategy himself for the matchup. And I have since done it myself as well, and it works really, really well. So what you're about to witness here is a particularly great anti-Chinese strategy that you can do with Hades. And the build order that you're watching FireFox execute right here is the granary-less Walls of Erebus build, where you basically send 4 villagers over to gold and wood. If you can, you share the storehouse. If you cannot, then it's perfectly fine too. 3 goes on gold, 1 goes on wood, and then you build a temple, and you have 3 villagers praying on the temple, and you'll have 3 villagers on the wood. And you can just pre-queue Walls of Erebus at this point. And then from here on out, all you do is you queue villagers onto hunt. This hippo here, a bit unfortunate place that it died over here. Sometimes these animals bug out, especially when they're this far away from TC. I don't know if they actually bug out or what they do, but they're hard to locate directly under your town center anyways. I said 3 on temple, but FireFox goes for 4. You can do that too. It gives you the Balls of Erebus a bit earlier. The only issue now is that he'll have 7 villagers over in this location, and it's maybe going to be hard for him to get a good advance off. But at the same time, I think maybe it's not even needed to get a fast advance off in this particular matchup. He's versus Shennong, and he does actually send 3 villagers back here. So this is interesting what FireFox does here. He really prioritizes getting the forward temple instead of placing the temple here. Because what I would usually do when I play Hades is place my temple here, and that makes the walk back and the walk over there shorter, and that way I save villager time. But what FireFox does, like I said, he prioritizes the really nice temple placement. This secures his gold mine, his wood line. All he needs now is maybe a production building and a wall, and he'll be good to go on this side. So 2 different approaches. One prioritizes better early economy, the other prioritizes being safe and secure once you get to the classical age. And I imagine what we're seeing from FireFox, he's advancing super late. So he's not gonna do much here. I've already seen this game. I watched it on stream while it happened, so I know what strategy he's going for. And you see 330 Nullra advances to the classical age, and he's now hitting him with the pioneers. And you see here the temple is annoying. Nullra messes up his pathing because of the temple. Moves all the way from here over there, and really nice building blocks, almost getting that last house up as well. But because of the temple, because of the nice defensive location, the pioneer is not able to really do much here. So the kind of greedy temple placement here, definitely a good idea for FireFox. I don't know, greedy is not the right word, but the sacrificing of economy in order to get this temple definitely paying off. And for people who know FireFox, who knows what kind of strategies he likes to go for, they'll see 4 villagers on temple right now, and they will know, all right, there's definitely Cyclops incoming. We do see Ares going through now, and this is something I've told FireFox to do in my coaching with him, is when you go for a strategy with Cyclops, your start is inevitably going to be slow, so don't bother advancing at 4 minutes. Or 4:15 or anything like that. Take it slow and advance at 5 minutes or even later. because there's no point advancing earlier. You've got the Sentinels to defend yourself. And I think Nullra, let's just take a quick peek over at what he's doing. So he went for the early advance, and now he's going for a TC at 5 minutes. I think probably Nullra could go for a later advance, and then he would also get an earlier an earlier town center. It's what you got to think of, guys. Every time you advance with one additional villager, you're gaining 60 resources. So if you advance at 4:15 instead of 4, you're going to gain 60 additional resources because you have that one additional villager out before you get the 60 seconds of idle time on your town center. Good raid here with the Chongqi. See if he actually manages to get a few kills. Not really. He gets the idle time, but not a kill. But the town center is now up in the middle. It's a great town center for Nullra to have. And he uses the earth wall. Luckily for FireFox, he's got the Cyclops there. And we also see the Terracotta Warriors. What a play from Nullra. Beautiful play. He kills one villager. Only one villager, actually. It's not much, but he does have the opportunity to maybe get 1 or 2 extra kills here. Terracotta Warriors, guys. You can train these once per game, per town center. And only one villager killed for Nullra. A bit unlucky. I really like this play from Nullra with the Earth Wall and the Terracotta Warriors. And what's really nice is when they get to 1 HP, you can use them as scouts. You can even attack granaries like this. They're not going to die by themselves. The opponent has to have the killing strike, if you like. And now FireFox is forced back into his base. He got a lot of hunt over here in this location. In hindsight, I think FireFox will be perfectly happy with that. He only lost the one villager. Could have gone a lot worse for FireFox. Especially considering he had already been chunked down by the Chongqi. And now the Earth Wall and the Terracotta Warriors on top of it. Very well done, losing only one villager. We do see, though, 26 vills for FireFox, 34 for Nullra. So FireFox is slowly falling behind here in economy. And there is some pressure on him to make something happen. And we do see the Will of Kronos technology coming in, and that obviously makes the Cyclops deal area of effect damage on his auto attack, and whenever he throws, the throw is going to give a bigger impact, and you can throw a longer distance than you could before. But actually in terms of stats, they're exactly the same. Same HP, same damage, same crush damage, but yeah, it's the AoE that's new, and it's the better throw, the better special attack. Sometimes when you're using these Cyclops, you can even forgo this upgrade. But obviously if you're building a lot of them, which FireFox is inevitably going to do, since he was sitting on like 70 favor before, he's getting a bunch, and it's really nice to get the upgrade here. So now he's hit that Apollo. That means he's going for the Underworld attack, and finally we see these 2 Terracotta Warriors dying. He's going up through Apollo. He's already starting to amass a nice army of Cyclops. He's got the 3 archery ranges ready. And it's just a matter of time before he gets enough Cyclops and Toxotes out. And he can make a really sick attack over on this position. The reason why this works versus China is because China has got Pioneers as their only heroes in the classical age. Except if you're versus Fuxi. You can also get Neja. But if you're versus Shennong, only one type of hero, and that's the Pioneers. And what's really nice with this strategy here from FireFox is you use the Toxotes to target down the Pioneers, and then the Cyclops will take care of everything else, basically. Very similar to when you're versus Norse. The Toxotes are going to take care of the Hursers, and once again, Cyclops take care of the rest. So this works really well versus China in the classical age. However, if you're too late with your attack, and Nullra gets to the heroic age, and he begins to make more heroes. I can't remember the name of the third age hero, but there's the unique third age hero, and there's the sages. If he gets those out, then the Underworld attack with the Cyclops is going to be a lot more sketchy. And FireFox actually being very smart here, he's making Peltasts. And these have bonus damage against the Pioneers. He knows he has to take care of the Pioneers, which are labeled as archers, so why would he bother with Toxotes when he can make anti-archer units instead? Love that play. Maybe like a good mix of Peltasts and Toxotes would be nice, like Peltasts in the beginning and then maybe later on at Toxotes. Although, dude, pure Peltest, maybe that's perfectly fine as well. Now we have 5 Cyclops here. One of them being low HP. Honestly, I would have loved to have seen a Temple of Healing coming in. Temple of Healing is this upgrade. Only costs 75 gold, 12 favor, and it allows the Cyclops to heal up to full quite early over here. And he had a low HP Cyclops here, which could have been full HP when this attack occurred, but whatever. Let's go. Underworld's cast. We have 4 Cyclops. There's going to be a 5th one coming in very soon. And here we see Nullra. He's got 10 Pioneers ready. But the Peltests take care of these Pioneers so easily. And the heroes take care of the Chilin, the Cheongchi. And Peltests are really getting a lot of value here. See how fast these Pioneers are going down. There's a Daoche coming in for Nullra. Only 1 Pioneer left. And 2 heroes still remaining alive to take care of this myth unit. And really good micro from FireFox, actually managing to throw a villager. And you can take this villager. Trying to kill the villagers here, but not quite managing. New Terracotta Warriors coming in for Nullra. He's got that mechanic down. He knows he needs these units out. But look at the value that you get here with the Underworld, with the Cyclops, and the Peltests against China. Don't you love to see that? Also, guys, just for what it's worth, if you don't realize, if you're doing it against Egyptian, priests are not designated as archers. So if you're doing it versus Egypt, you should go for Toxotes, not Peltests. But yeah, this is a beautiful play from FireFox. He's still behind in villagers, but not even by that much. He must have killed a few in the process here. And the thing about... I don't know how he ended up with 3 Pegasi here. The thing about Hades, with the Vault of Erebus, he's still got 1500 gold left in this initial gold mine. He does not have to move outside of his base just yet. And that's so beautiful. Even if he did, he's got access to this gold mine if he wanted to. He's now adding in the Toxotes. He's doing exactly what I said, actually. First, you want to make Peltest, and then you can add in Toxotes. But, yeah, Nullra, he's continually producing these Pioneers, but they're just being targeted down by the Peltests. Beautiful play from FireFox here. And Nullra, I'm not even sure what he can do to counter this. From the moment that he decided to go for a 2 TC boom, he just exposes himself to this kind of attack. So it's a perfect counter to the Chinese 2 TC boom that we're witnessing here. Maybe should get Chiron out at this stage. That's a Fey Beast. Very strong god power against these small armies here. You see? That's the entirety of that army, save for the heroes that are dead. When you're being attacked by Fey Beasts, by the way, guys, take your heroes and attack them. These are myth units, and they only have 55 HP. So I think, like Ajax here, he does 9 damage times 13. He can one-shot a Fey Beast. So whenever you're hit by a Fey Beast god power, you take your heroes, and then you just A-move on top of the Fey Beasts. I don't know if that would have even saved this army here, but it's well worth a shot anyways. Look over here, even more Pioneers, like I said. There's a Baihu here as well, very good at taking down myth units. Finally, all these Cyclops are slowly dying. Should probably stop producing them at this stage. And crazy enough, it's now FireFox who's got the villager lead, despite being down 1 to 2 town centers for that long. And 3 Pioneers, 3 Pioneers remaining for Nullra. Plenty of Peltest still here. Bit of a misclick from FireFox. Oh well. Would be awesome to have Chiron out here. Chiron is an amazing unit in general. And versus Shennong, there's bound to be a lot of myth units. Shennong spawns myth units for free, and when he gets to the heroic age, obviously he gets a Baihu, so having all 3 heroes out is very much worth it. Also just because they soak up so much damage. They're general units, they don't have any, they're not infantry or horses or archers or anything like that, so they take a long while to take down for something like a Javelineer. It's only got 6 base damage. Now FireFox saying, I dealt the damage that I wanted to deal, and it's actually FireFox who's now 2 to 1 town centers. Yep. And Nullra in a peculiar situation. He's got control of the center of the map, but I don't think there's any gold, is there? No. There's no gold, so he has to mine from here, or where even here he can go. Underworld is still up. Nullra deciding to go for it. That gives FireFox an option to maybe go back here, but he doesn't want to. These Baihu are really strong, by the way. It's a good idea from Nullra to get these 3 out. And it's just a pure archer plus myth unit composition from Nullra. So what do you do against that if you're Greek? Well, honestly, I think Hoplites would be amazing. Even Hibius would be good. But I think Hoplites, you also did go up through Ares, so you'll just get the Phobos Spear of Panic. And then all your heroes, pure Hoplites. I think that's the way to go against that comp. But FireFox is going off through Hephaestus. It's a very, very safe choice, especially when you're ahead and you've secured this gold mine. Honestly, even a second fortress over in this location would be good. Because this is kind of exposed. See here. Nullra, luckily, kind of sleeping here. Didn't get the special attack off on the villagers. Could have dealt a lot of damage if he had managed to do that. But yeah, Hephaestus coming in. Favor situation is 44 in favor of Nullra. As of yet, he has no armory upgrades. So when he gets to Mythic Age, you see him already now. He's got 3 armories. He's going for that 40 of Olympus, making every armory upgrade 60% cheaper. There was that Baihu special attack you saw. Very, very strong. It's peculiar composition from Nullra. Pioneers, Javelineers, and Myth units. I do think if you just get, I don't know, maybe Hoplites isn't the way to go, because you don't have that Aegis shield with the 15% pierce vulnerability. You don't get that when you go through Ares, so maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe just pure Peltasts. I do think Hades Peltasts with 21 range is a much better unit than the Javelineers. Oof, these Tigers are dangerous. And once again, Chiron would be a really good counter to them. So I would say whenever I execute this strategy as Hades, when I've dealt my initial damage onto the town center, I say, alright, I should probably look to get Chiron out now. Some nice raids here from Nullra. Hephaestus is in, and already we see the Forge of Olympus almost ready to go. 3 armories, and we're going to see all armory upgrades slowly being trained now from FireFox. It's being put under a lot of pressure, but he's got a gold mine up here, so that's kind of saving his ass right now. He just has to start making the armory upgrades as we see here. Gonna do so much for him. He's even got these unique minor god upgrades. They're also cheaper. And FireFox is gonna be incredibly strong here. And there's no rush. The good thing when you're going up through Hephaestus is there's absolutely no rush right now for FireFox. Only issues, maybe these 2 siege crossbows can be dangerous over here. But yeah, you don't have to fight here, to be honest. Except for if these 2 are very dangerous. Perseus is out taking care of one Baihu. Dude, in a small skirmish like this, before both players can begin to effectively spam out units, Perseus is actually super strong. And that attack is just totally repented. Totally repealed. 13 Peltasts with all these Hades upgrades. Like I said, so much better than what the Chinese army can muster. And with the armory upgrades continually flowing in for FireFox now, I don't see a way that Nullra can win here. The Colossus is eating gold now. This is such a slow ability. I think this should be buffed in Retold. I think it's probably the same numbers as it was in the old game, but honestly, I would love to see this buff. See how slow this is. Either way, FireFox now really putting on the pressure. Maybe a single Petropolis or a Helepolis would have been nice to take care of the Earth Wall while you're maintaining this pressure. But it's alright. 3 armory upgrades coming in concurrently here. Nice play from Nullra with these farms. This means that he can place units on the Shennong farms and they'll be invisible. But unfortunately for Nullra, he's just way too far behind here. Even a Cyclops coming in now to act as a siege weapon. And the Colossus, of course. who's now eaten himself back to 1000 HP. And continually 13 villagers on prayer duty for FireFox. 4 over here, 9 here. So maybe he is going for Colossi or more Cyclops, actually, is by the looks of it. What you can also do is get 200 favor for a new Plenty Vault, because it's actually really good value. But at this stage, FireFox just wants to end the game. Getting so many upgrades here. Even adding in the Sun Ray. It's so cool when you're playing Hades and you get Ares, Apollo, Hephaestus unique technologies on top of the ordinary armory upgrades. Forge of Olympus really gives you a lot of value then. And even though he doesn't have champion archers just yet, it is incoming. Even then, these pelters are so strong. They're so much better than anything Nullra can muster at this stage. And of course, also keep in mind, with these pelters out, Pioneers will be sniped down in no time. Meaning that the 4 Cyclops here, who are now at 930 HP, they're going to be able to go to town very effectively. Almost got all the armory upgrades in now. Even adding in the Olympian weapons, making Gastrofeteros better now. Not that he's got any, but for good measure, why not get that upgrade as well? He's a big attack. These pelters, 8.8, 9.3, they have so much damage now. They can even take down these swordsmen. Nullra, he's got the unique Rusho upgrades, but I think even just pelters, hoplites, they're gonna deal just fine with this Chinese army. And look at this, Cyclops are dealing AoE damage while they're sieging, so the villagers are going down all the while. Keep this in mind when you're sieging a town center. You can place your Cyclops next to the villagers like we saw here, and then they die. So once you've killed off like 3, you can move them slightly, and then you can kill 3 new ones, 3, 4 new ones like that. But really well played from FireFox. He takes it there in the end. Finally got all his armory upgrades, and these are beastly units. 21 minutes into the game and he's got everything he wants in this army. So yeah, once again, I am HUSKSUPPE on YouTube. I'm sure there'll be a link in the description. So thanks for watching, and thank you to DoD for hosting this video. I'll see you guys later.